This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao. A gift from Italy to your home. San Pellegrino Ciao is a flavored sparkling water made with real fruit juice, finished with a pinch of Sicilian salt for a perfectly balanced taste. So which flavor will you choose? Peach, lime, blood orange, cherry, or maybe the all-new limoncello? Crafted in Italy with 0 grams of added sugar. San Pellegrino Ciao. Buy it now.
Sunday morning. Well, this is Dr. Peter Michalos. Live long and prosper. Well, Dr. Peter, what do we do this week to live longer?
Well, today, John, we're going to talk about a very important topic, and that is prostate health and bladder health for longevity. And the prostate is a small gland below the bladder that helps produce seminal fluid. As men age, the prostate tends to grow larger, and the growth is usually non-cancerous and is known as BPH, benign prostatic hypertrophy. And what happens, it doesn't mean that you have cancer, but it presses on the urethra, which is the tube that we make our urine in. It makes urination more difficult. And as we get older, that's why it's important. An important tip for men is if you drink water, we're supposed to drink half an ounce to 1 ounce based on our pounds. So if you're a 150-pound man, you should have 150 ounces or at minimum 75 ounces of fluid a day. The trick is try to do most of your water drinking.
So that 75 ounces is, because keep it simple. So that's 2 quarts of water.
Yeah, that's
okay,
it.
32-ounce quarts or whatever. But if you weigh 230, 240, what I weigh, I should have 3.
Exactly. You need to have the water. But the trick is to try to drink most of it by 6 p.m. And then after 6 p.m., if you can have any water, just have sips. So this way, your kidney, by the time it processes it, you're not up all night or getting up in the middle of the night to urinate.
So let me ask you a question. I usually take a Toroside pill, which is a water pill, before I go to bed, because the only time the Toroside pill works is if you're laying down. So here's an oxymoron, not an oxymoron, but whatever. The Toroside pill doesn't work well unless you're laying down, and you're saying is reduce the water before 6 o'clock, so you don't have to get up twice.
Right. You don't get up as much, and I tried that on myself, and it does work. And then some of the things that we can do to the foods that we can eat to help protect our prostate are eating cooked tomatoes, because they're high in something called lycopene, and lycopene has been found to help improve prostate health and reduce inflammation. Also, fatty fish like salmon, we found that omega-3s are also important and help the reduce the inflammation in the prostate. Also, things like broccoli, kale, berries, nuts, blackberries, blueberries, nuts and seeds, all those help. And also green tea is very powerful antioxidant, and it's also for longevity because it contains.
So if you're going to have tea at night, tea makes you go to the bathroom more. So you can't really have tea after 6 o'clock.
Right. Green tea.
I mean, if I'm on my 5 o'clock show and I have tea, by the time I leave the show at 5 minutes after 6, I got to go to the bathroom again.
Right, but then choose chamomile tea, which doesn't make you urinate as much.
So chamomile tea if it's after 6 o'clock at night, green tea if it's before 6 o'clock at night.
Right, and you want to avoid caffeine at night because it's a diuretic and a bladder stimulant. And also alcohol, of course, is very irritating to the
I don't drink.
bladder. Right. Neither do I.
I follow your rules. No alcohol, no sugar, no salt.
Right. And sugar, of course, feeds the prostate. And we know that as people's insulin rises, it pushes sugar into the cells. So that's why rising fasting insulin levels and insulin resistance cause the prostate to grow. That's why if we can keep our blood sugar under control, we don't feed the prostate and other cancers. So it's important to keep our fasting insulin levels low, avoid the sugar. Also, spicy foods, salt, and even sparkling water is irritating to the bladder, and it's not good for people with benign prostatic hypertrophy. And, of course, the red meat now in the U.S.
Wait. Go make it more simple for us simple people. What's benign?
It's when your prostate enlarged. Benign prostate hypertrophy is your prostate gets big, it pushes on the bladder, and it makes you feel like you're full and you want to pee.
In other words, we shouldn't drink mineral water after 6 o'clock.
You shouldn't be drinking mineral water if you have prostate problems, and especially after 6 o'clock, because it irritates the bladder and it makes you want to pee more. And red meat contains hormones that increases inflammation and makes the prostate grow. And you don't want to eat things like chili paper, curry sauce, hot sauce, because that also irritates the prostate and makes you want to urinate more and increases the symptoms. Of course, you got to check your PSA levels. When you go to your doctor, they do a digital exam. If they see a hard lump or any bump in your prostate, then you worry about prostate cancer. If your PSA level is above 4, then you usually start a workup for prostate cancer. And, it's a very important area. And there are new procedures like aqua ablation, where they have a robot, basically. They stick in a catheter with real-time ultrasound, and it basically cores out, like it cores out an apple, and it opens up the space, and it can open up the prostate so people will need less medicine and have better urination. And that's a new state-of-the-art procedure. And there's an organization for men with prostate cancer called Fans for the Cure, done by the great Joe Cosgrove, and he's developed this entire prostate community to help people find referrals and learn about the latest procedures. And he actually told me the other day he was at a conference, and Johnson & Johnson came out with an amazing new medicine called Areolad paltutamide, and basically they found that it has a dramatic reduction in the risk of prostate metastases in men with prostate cancer. So like you always say on our show, is we're getting to new things with warp speed, and this new medicine now is giving more hope to the men with prostate cancer. Other things, of course, staying active, brisk walking, trying to minimize the amount of weight we have in the midsection because it pushes on our bladder. And these are all things. And the diet we went over, the foods to eat, the foods to avoid, and get your regular checkups for your prostate health. And if you have any blood on urination, burning on urination, see your doctor right away, because it could be an infection, it can be a kidney stone. And foods to avoid if you have kidney stones are spinach and kale, and not taking too much vitamin C, because that also speeds up calcium oxalate stones. So these are some of the tips to help keep your prostate healthy for years to come, because it's an important function that we have.
Dr. Peter Michalos, thank you for coming on this Sunday morning, and I'll meet you at the age of 100.
Thank you, John, for always getting the truth out to our listeners on the Cats Roundtable.